Hi, thank you for joining me here at Heather's Crochet Corner. Today we're going to do a product review of this spindle kit. I did just finish a video for this about 20 minutes ago, and I was going through the video and making sure it all went as it should, and it seems like the last few minutes kind of got cut off for some reason, so here's take two. So what you guys missed in the first half is that this spindle kit comes in a few different and separate pieces. First off, you have the base. This square bit here is its own separate piece. This cylindrical piece here is separate. The arm of the spindle is separate. And the actual spindle itself, the holder of the yarn, is two separate pieces. You've got this piece here with the magnet and the base. So this product comes with a screwdriver and 3 screws. One screw goes into the bottom of the base. It is recessed so that the head of the screw is sort of flush with the surface, and it goes here so that your yarn can have something to sit on while it's on the spindle. It doesn't just slide off. So this was one piece. This piece in particular was especially difficult for me to actually screw in. There is like a pre-drilled hole at the bottom end of the spindle, as well as these two pieces here that also screw in. But those holes, here I'll show you here. Here's the other 2 screws. The other holes, actually all of them, all 3 of them, are only drilled. They're not actually pre-threaded. So you will have to use a bit of force to kind of get those screws in. These 2 pieces kind of screwed in a bit better. The only issue I have with the screws for these 2 is that they weren't recessed to account for the screw head. So they both kind of just stick up. And I could not get that one in anymore. I started to actually round out the actual slots here for the Phillips head. So whatever surface this is going on to, most likely will end up getting scuffed up and scraped and damaged, because again, they don't sit flush. So yeah, there's that. This is made of real wood, from what I can tell. It's not like a pressed fiberboard or a plywood. So it is real wood. It's not too heavy. It's pretty light, which is great. My only issue with this is that it just seems like it could have done a better job sanding it. I mean, it's been sanded, so it's not like raw wood. It's been sanded. But it could have gone through and done like a once over sort of, I don't know, final smoother sanding, because it does feel a bit rough, and a lot of areas just feel rough. I don't expect that you're going to get splinters, but I think it just looks a little unpolished, a little unfinished. Like even the inside of the cylinder here, you can see where they stopped painting. So it's still very raw in material. So that's just my little pet peeve. So basically, the end result is that you've got yourself the yarn spindle here, holds your yarn. You've got a space here that could hold your crochet hooks or maybe knitting needles. You've got a space here that also could fit your scissors. I wouldn't really put anything too short in here, because if you've got larger fingers, you may have a hard time retrieving what's on the bottom. So I would not put like stitch markers in there, because you may have a hard time getting those back out. But what's nice is that this actually has a built-in feature, so that if you were to, let's say, put your cell phone in, you could have a tutorial, or if you had notes on what you're talking about, or if you had a pattern that you're working from, you could actually have that here. You could have your yarn in here and work, which is something I can see myself doing going forward for a lot of these videos in the future, is having a video tutorial already on the go and working from. and being able to have my yarn here and have the crochet hooks that I need already at hand. So for that purpose, I could see the value in that. So that's great. Let's see what else. As far as the weight, what I had determined, again, 20 minutes ago in the last video, was that I did start off showing this loops and thread yarn. It is just over 6.5 ounces. We found this weight to be just beyond the tolerance of what this magnet could hold. As far as the actual size of the skein, good size. So it does physically sit on there and it does stay, but once you get any kind of movement with this, it just wants to fall off because it's just the weight of it. So I expect if you wanted to work from a skein of this size, I'd say, you know, make sure you get a little bit used before putting it on here. And then, because right now it's still kind of, it's touching the arm, and if you try to turn it, it just wants to fall. It just can't support the weight because it's kind of rubbing here. But again, once you've used it a little bit and it's not making contact here, you might be okay. But again, this is just over 6.5 ounces, and that seems to be the threshold for this magnet. So we had also tried this Bernat Super Value. It's 5 ounces. This is a fine weight, but it's just a little too tall. So it is not, let's see, where's the spindle? There it is. So even though you can kind of scooch down the yarn, turn it, it's going to make some contact there. So I think it might, ooh, it's borderline. Like the weight's okay, but still a little too much contact. But again, if you were to use up this enough, you could eventually put it on the spindle and use it. I did try, obviously we have a little mini skein. These are the 408 yarn. I don't know the yardage on these, but it comes in a set of like 10 or 12. I get mine from Michael's. I've seen them at Walmart or Amazon. So it should have the measurements there. But this is a good size. So any mini skeins, just cram that on there. No problem at all. It spins freely. Doesn't hang up at all. So that's going to be fine to use. We have a Lily Sugar and Cream. These are, let's see, what is it, 2 ounces. So I don't expect this to be an issue. Nope, not an issue at all. And what I did find is I have a loops and thread, also 2 ounces. So I'm going to just sort of stack these two. So now we have a full 4 ounces on here. Okay. So this is a good length that can be tolerated, and it spins freely. So you can easily get 4 ounces on there with no problem. So that's a good something to know. If you have a yarn winder, make your own little mini cakes. This is a partial Karen cakes. So it does kind of get caught up and kind of gets caught here, but again, just take it easy and it should be fine. But it seems like 5 ounces seems to be the max weight for this particular magnet. So just keep that in mind when you're trying to use a particular yarn for this unit. Let's see, what else is there to say? Yeah. So the only issue I had putting it together was just getting this to fit on again, because the holes are just pre-drilled. They weren't pre-threaded, so you kind of do have to put a little force, a little elbow grease, I guess, to get these screws going. And again, the bottom ones don't sit flush. They don't sit recessed like this one. So they do kind of stick out, and kind of came through slightly damaged and scuffed there. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. But if you're paying good money for something, you kind of don't want it to come through damaged. Again, it doesn't affect the use of this product, so not really a deal breaker for me, but I just have to point these things out as a product reviewer. This is how I received this. Again, this came in different pieces. This was separate. It has to be screwed in. This arm was separate, has to be screwed in, and the spindle came in 2 pieces. It has to be screwed on, but other than that, you're good to go. Again, you've got the 3 screws, comes with a screwdriver, which isn't the best screwdriver. If you have a different one already at home that fits better, I would probably suggest using that, because this one is garbage. It worked, it did its job, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, I will try to remember to leave the link for this product in the description. If you guys have any questions about this or anything that you've seen in previous videos, please feel free to comment. I encourage your questions if you have any. Yeah, and as you know, I don't script any of these episodes. They're all just from the top of my head. I sort of just fly by the seat of my pants and wing everything. So that's why they're such great quality. But yeah, that's just how I roll. And again, I encourage your questions and encourage your comments on anything that you've seen. Or if there's something you haven't seen, if there's a tutorial or a stitch or something you have questions on or would like to learn or see me demonstrate, please leave them in the comments below, and I'll do my very best to get that, get that made and see if I can get something going for you. So that'd be great. Thank you for joining me here. That concludes this video for this product. Again, it's a spindle holder with a couple little accessories, which most of these don't typically have. You usually just get this little unit with a little base, and that's kind of it. I've never actually seen one with a holder, which is kind of genius. And the same for the pre-done slot for your phone. I do like that. So overall, I think this product for me is probably a solid 4, just based on the fact that it isn't as finished as I think it should be. That's just my opinion on it. It's a little bit rough in various spots. Again, I don't expect you to get splinters, but I think another better round of sanding could have done a lot for this product. So yeah, that's what I think. That's what its purpose is. You've seen it, and I hope you guys join me for the next video. Thanks so much.